Hey, what's up, studs, and welcome to episode 295 of Ask MandR, the series where I answer your questions. If you have a question or topic that you want answered on next week's episode, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit the like button while you're there. First things first, how did I get that shiny new Clone Trooper Battle Droid Battle Pack so early? A couple of viewers, LJ and Meg, aka Bantha Toys on Instagram, were able to find 5 at one of their stores over in the UK. They bought all of them as soon as they saw them, and they then messaged me and offered to send me one, so I bought one from them and they shipped it out. And so without them, I would not have had this review out so early, so I am incredibly grateful to them. Guys, please drop them a follow on Instagram. They were very nice people. I've talked to them quite a bit now, so maybe a new friend of the channel. Anyway, our first viewer question of the week is about that very battle pack, and it's from Tabletop Studios, who says, would you rather have a Droideka instead of 2 battle droids and a Stap in the new Clone and Droids battle pack? Personally, I wouldn't, since after a while, you would have too many Droidekas. Well, to be fair, you can have too many of quite a few things after a while, depending on which sets you're buying en masse, but I do agree. I would not rather have a Droideka over the Stap, especially. I think this Stap build is beautiful. It was definitely needed here. It was something that I didn't understand why LEGO Star Wars wasn't including in all of these sets where they would have battle droids, but nothing for them. So it's literally 2 battle droids versus a big AT-AP and a big speeder. And they could have easily had a Stap or 2 in this set, and then it feels like a much more even battle. And I think one of the similar examples from the past was kind of Mace Windu Starfighter that had a couple of Staps included alongside the tactical droid speeder to go against Mace Windu Starfighter. It didn't feel like it was a David versus Goliath fight with every set back then, and that's what it was recently with a lot of these clone sets that would include like a couple droids. Now, don't get me wrong, I still would have loved to see a Droideka in this set at no additional cost and without having to get rid of anything. That would be ideal, just better value for your money. But hopefully maybe in the summer or next year, we'll get another Droideka at some point. We're getting the big buildable Droideka at some point in May of this year, I think. So the Droideka is clearly on the mind of the designers. We had one that came in a foil pack back in 2018, but otherwise it's been nearly 10 years since the last Droideka. It was 2015, actually. So pretty insane that it's been that long, much like the Super Battle Droid, it took forever, so I assume we'll get one here soon, though. Crazy Dog says, Stap speeders didn't see use by the CIS in the second half of the war. In the case with the new battle pack, is this inaccuracy acceptable to you? So yeah, it's a battle pack. I'm typically, as far as builds go, not looking for the utmost accuracy from like that perspective. I think it's different in a case like the ATTE, where it's a Revenge of the Sith set and it's supposed to be something that has a crab droid, for example, instead of a spider droid. But in this case, you're just building your army, you're getting vehicles. It could be any, combination of clone and droid vehicles to me, as long as they're just good versions of them. I don't really care. It's just about amassing that army and getting something like that versus other sets that are more expensive, where I think a little bit more attention to detail as far as the accuracy of what's included in the package goes. Just some random 934 says, if you got to choose the next CMF series figures, what theme would you go for besides Star Wars? Fortnite, and Fortnite. I don't even like Fortnite that much. I don't play the game. I only downloaded it so I could check out the LEGO stuff for that video that I did the other day. They made some incredible stuff in the LEGO Fortnite game, and it would be incredibly sad to not see that realized in a physical form. I think the ultimate end goal to this for LEGO is to be able to sell these figures in a physical form, or at least some of them. They're not going to make every of the 1,000 that they made, but like there's a lot of potential there, and so a Fortnite CMF just it has to come out in 2024 or 2025, right? It would make no sense that LEGO would make this big connection with Fortnite and spend all of this money on Fortnite, $1 billion, and not release physical products, which has been their bread and butter forever. I know they've wanted to get into the digital space, and this is probably outside of Minecraft, like the second best way they could have got. Maybe it's the best way they could have gotten into the digital space with all the skins they're going to be able to sell. But at its core, LEGO is still a physical product, and that physical product should be the gateway to the online version of itself, not the other way around. So we'll see what happens, but a Fortnite CMF is what I would do. Matt J. Lego says, with the new leaked battle pack set for January 1st, do you think that we could see the new Walmart 3-in-1 set with the 501st, 332nd Trooper, and this battle pack in there as a 3-in-1 set for 2024? That would be an absurd 3-in-1 set. 3 clone battle packs in one set. I know a lot of people would be very happy with that. So that would be a pretty crazy 3-in-1 set. I typically don't feel like they do like the most optimal, coolest 3-in-1 sets. So like I would just from that idea say probably not, just because it feels too good for them to do as a 3-in-1. You know what I mean? I mean, that would probably bring the price from what, 20, 40, 70. They usually do what, 30%-ish off at least. So this was $70 because it was 50 and 20, and they were selling it, I think, for 45, maybe 40, but I'm pretty sure it was 45. So you'd get the 3 battle packs for $45. Okay, yeah, I hope that happens. That'd be a really good deal. Spencer says, do you own any LEGO Star Wars merchandise in the clothing categories? For example, clothing and watches with pictures of LEGO Darth Vader, or any of those fun LEGO Star Wars clothing items you used to be able to get at Legoland back in the day. So I have the LEGO Star Wars Darth Vader watch from the 20th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars, but it's at my parents' house. But I do own that one. I just haven't worn it yet. My intention was to compare it to the Apple Watch. Let me go get them. First off, I have the Target classic Spaceman shirt. This is one of the nicer feeling and quality shirts. It looks really clean and nice. It's not really old like you're going to see some of these are. So this is one that I have actually worn quite a few times out and about. Next, we have the Razor Crest, which I really only bought because it's got hair on it. Nice. The designers wore those Razor Crest shirts one time and I thought that was cool. So I ended up buying this. That was at LegoCon the one year. I don't really wear this one. They're from like Hot Topic, but I think other places sell them, but they're not like very high quality like prints on the shirt. So I don't really like them that much. Same for this one. It's Revenge of the Sith. I think a lot of you guys are gonna like this. It was like 20 bucks, but again, the print quality is just not very good. It's like super faded. Then we have some like Lego Club shirts from back in the day. We got this General Grievous. Unfortunately, with a shirt like this, I bought it in a medium because it was kind of the only size I could get. I'm a large shirt guy. I'm not a medium shirt guy. Medium shirt's a little too tight, a little too short, like comes like up to my waistline. Don't really like the way it feels. So I just kind of have it as like a collector's item, which is, I don't know if I should be doing that. This one's also a medium. This is one of the nicer shirts that I own, period, though. It's a Lego Uniqlo collab. It's got this really nice, like, I don't know, felt lettering on there. It's a beautiful shirt, but I bought it in a medium because I'm an idiot instead of buying a large. This was like $100 too, because this wasn't like a hard to get collab that they did. Again, it's like kind of small on me now, and I don't, yeah, unfortunate. This one is really cool as well. This one's a Lego Club shirt, just like the Grievous one you saw, and it has Anakin and a couple 501st ATRTs. I think I've worn this one before on the channel, but yeah, love this one, of course, just a really cool piece to have. And then the last two are shirts that I also spent like $100 on, but for different reasons. So first off, we have this Lego Ambassador shirt from 2010, formerly owned by Bricks on the Dollar. At Brick for Virginia last year, they were having a charity auction and they had this as one of the auction items. It's pretty worn. It's, you know, not the greatest condition, but I literally own a vintage Lego Ambassador shirt. Like the, you know, you can see the Ambassador there written across the side and on the front. Just really funny to me. So we own that one. And then my most recent pickup, and maybe the coolest shirt in my entire collection of Lego shirts, is this one. So on the front here, it says Lego Imagination Center Orlando, and it's a picture of that 1999 Naboo Starfighter. So like, it's kind of classy on the front, kind of like a small patch thing. And then if you flip it around back, it's got this massive image of that 1999 Naboo Starfighter flying through a portal. Imagination Center Orlando, Star Wars logo with the Lego guys above it. This one smells. Oh, I want to get it off. What a cool vintage shirt, dude. Rory says, with so many Phase 2 clone sets coming out, how long do you think it will be before we see more Phase 1 troopers? Personally, I can't see them coming for quite a few years, with next year hopefully being Revenge of the Sith heavy. I'd love to see a new early Clone Wars wave with blue and red Anakin, Armor Obi-Wan Kenobi, young Ahsoka, Dooku, Ventress, P1 Rex, and Cody. I still think we should have seen something similar. I'm basically all in on your camp right now. I mean, you know my position on LEGO Star Wars Clone Trooper helmets. Anything Phase 1, I think I'm going to really love. There's very little they can do to mess up Phase 1 Clone Troopers. They're very simple. Very few, if any of them, are going to need or require a waist cape. Therefore, we won't end up with the printed waist cape fiasco on Phase 1 Clone Troopers. Like, there's just a lot of issues that get avoided with the Phase 1 Troopers that we have with the Phase 2 Troopers. So I'm in your camp, bro. I hope we do get more Phase 1 stuff, but I think it will be not really on the table until like 2026, 2027, 2028, because you're probably right. They're already doing Phase 2 this year in 2000, or next year in 2024, right? We've already started. Doesn't mean they can't also do Phase 1 next year, but we got Phase 2 for 2024, 2025. It just makes all the sense in the world to do a bunch of Revenge of the Sith sets and figures, and so that would all be Phase 2. So probably not seeing any Phase 1 figures for a little while longer. Tim says, kind of a mid question, but how many LEGO rewards points do you have? And if you haven't already, do you plan on cashing out? I have 250,000 LEGO rewards points. The second part of his question says, is it more cost effective to make the points last over multiple purchases for use? So I'm losing out to inflation on that 250,000 points for sure. Basically, I haven't spent any VIP points really since LEGO changed over the system like 4 years ago. I didn't like the new system, so I was like, I'm not going to spend any points, and I've held pretty true to that for quite a while now. But as time goes on and I keep not redeeming points, let's say when I started not redeeming points, battle packs were $15 and now they're $20. Well, my points, if I was going to buy battle packs, are now worth way less to buy battle packs. So I do think that it's really effective if you're trying to do VIP points, or if you buy lego.com, whatever, and get double VIP points, you should just spend your points as soon as you get them. It is the most simple way. You're going to be saving the same dollar amount no matter what, but if you wait years and years like I'm doing, you are definitely losing out to inflation and Lego's ever increasing prices. So yeah, I'd be getting more bang for my buck if I just spent them as I got them, but I've been saving them, so we'll do something cool eventually. Ryan says, what do you think about the Lego versus Legos argument? What is your take on it? So Lego is technically, or I don't want to say legally, but according to Lego, Lego is the plural of Lego. So Legos with an S is not correct. For anyone that doesn't know still, that hasn't been harassed online the second that they put an S on Legos. However, I just don't care anymore. It's just the way you say their name, and you can say it however you want. People say my name different ways, and I'm not all up in a fuss about it like they are. I believe it has something to do with them wanting to protect their trademark, and like I get that, I guess. User says, why don't you modify your Lego sets? Or at least I don't think you do. So I am just a collector that wants to collect things the way they come, at least one of each the way they come. I have modified Lego sets in the past. Back in like 2010, I modified my gunship and my ATTE to add in some different features that they didn't have at the time. But what I enjoy and the way that I've chosen to collect things over the past 5 or so years has changed quite a lot, and I definitely want to have that base version of every set the way that it came. It's very helpful to me later down the line in a lot of cases when I want to go and do comparison videos. Like for example, if Lego comes out with another AAT next year and I want to do a comparison video of every Lego AAT, well, I have every Lego AAT the way they all came out, just stock. And so that makes it really easy for me to go and pull all of these things together that I need for this video, and then just make the video. And in some cases, if I had modified something, then I wouldn't know that it's modified if I forgot or didn't realize what small thing I had modified, or don't have the pieces that I took off of it and changed out. So there's that reason that I don't modify things, on top of the fact that I just want to have the collection of everything the way that it came, not in a different form. Fritz says, do you think Lego YouTube has become oversaturated? There's so many channels, particularly shills, all reviewing the same 20 or so sets. I would never watch any of these channels, but it's crazy to me how many there are. I feel like you're a little mean to the other people. A lot of them are trying to just enjoy the hobby just like we are. However, yeah, the Lego space is a little saturated. I don't know how to define oversaturated in the Lego space, honestly, but to give you some context, just how long I've been around making Lego content online, there was a time when I did think I knew who everyone was. Everyone, like literally almost anyone that made YouTube videos with Lego and Lego Star Wars, I would know at least who they are and probably be subscribed to them, because I would just subscribe to everyone back then. Like, that was a thing. Like, you would know everyone. Everyone knew everyone kind of deal. Like, small town. But that has changed. It's no... Okay. That's changed. There's just way more people making content, and this doesn't just apply to YouTube. There are so many people on Instagram and TikTok and a few people on Twitch that, like, you know, I've just never heard of. You know, and some of them have a substantial following, you know, so it's kind of crazy to me how many people are out there just doing this now. Not necessarily like what I'm doing, where it's like reviews and news maybe, but just enjoying the hobby in their own way and making content about it, and, you know, just having a good time doing what they're doing. And so in some ways, yes, it is very saturated, but I do also think there's always room for new people and new styles of content to come along. I think one of the big booms we've seen over the last year has been kind of the Mr. Beast style content, almost to a fault, or I'd really say to a fault. We're talking about like in my YouTube recommended, sometimes I'll see the same, like, I built a clone army video in 7 days, done 1,000 times, and all of the thumbnails will be identical. We've talked about this before on the show here. It's like none of these channels have an identity. And that's, I think, a big problem for these channels if this content style, or if that content style, you know, starts to die off. Like, I couldn't tell one apart from the other based on any thumbnail. It's more so an observation than me saying it's something that they should go and change or do something different for themselves. They should do what they think is best, and obviously it's working if it's getting views, right? But I also think that, like, you don't have an identity on your channel. Like, what sets you apart from someone else when you're just copying what everyone else is doing and doing it the exact same? Like, I don't know. It's this whole thing. But I don't think you can come along these days and not put in a reasonably good amount of effort, make reasonably nice thumbnails, and, you know, have a successful channel. I think it is really hard to do it the way that people used to do it. But that is just also how things work. You know, over time, the quality rises, the expectations rise from viewers, and so things just have to be better. I think the same thing when I look at like Call of Duty content over the last 10 to 15 years, where it used to just be commentaries over gameplay, and now the content for Call of Duty is just way crazier, way better, way more entertaining, way more engaging. I hope all of that doesn't discourage new people from wanting to start. If you want to start a YouTube channel, if you want to start a TikTok and Instagram page talking about whatever it is with Lego or really anything else, go out and do it. Like, there's always going to be that next person that comes along and does something a little bit different, something a little bit more entertaining, and that could be you. You just have to put in the effort to find out if it's going to be, you know? So maybe a little bit of a more broad answer to your question than you were expecting, and sorry if I was a little bit all over the place. I get excited with questions like that where I get to talk about things that I think about a lot but don't talk about a lot. But anyway, the next question does not have a very broad answer. It's from user, and he says, when are you going to make your Clone Army video? I think I'll release it tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. See you then.